Hello there guys and welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another video. I hope all of you guys doing well today, and are you guys happy that the Premier League is back? Because I am. The international break has been a bit boring, but except for the UEFA Nations League semi-final and final, that was an absolutely amazing to watch. France won the Euro 20 Euro Nations League this year. Of course, Spain in second place and Italy in third place and Belgium in fourth place. But yeah, I really enjoyed watching those ones. The rest of it, they're just a bit boring. Whereas for England, they won against Andorra, but against Hungary, they just seem to struggle. I mean, we beat them at their home ground, but we couldn't seem to beat them at Wembley. So it was just so strange, really, really, really strange. But anyway, the international break is over and we can focus back into the Premier League. And I'm so excited because tomorrow is a West London derby. A West London derby. Of course, the game of the weekend is Newcastle versus Tottenham because of the takeover, but the West London derby is here tomorrow, and I'm looking forward to it. Chelsea against Brentford will meet for the first time in 76 years. That was the last time because Chelsea always used to face Queens Park Rangers, not every season, but Queens Park Rangers, Fulham, Barnsley, all these type of teams, but not Brentford. Of course, the last time we faced Brentford was we beat them 4-0 in the FA Cup 8 years ago. That was the last time we faced them. But in the league, it's been 76 years. But the wait is finally over. It's now a West London derby in the Premier League. Absolutely brilliant. But it will be a tough test for Chelsea because Brentford currently right now are in seventh place. They've just only lost one game. And that was against Brighton in the last minute, which I would have thought they would have either won that game, but they didn't. But Brentford are a tough opponent, and we're playing at their new stadium. When they face Arsenal, they beat them 2-0. When they face Liverpool, the Premier League champions 2 years ago, they drew 3-3. So this game is going to be really tough. If you think it's going to be easy, then you are wrong. In my opinion, it is going to be tough because Brentford I really I really enjoyed it. And they're starting to be like Sheffield United and Leeds United, because remember when Sheffield United and Wolves as well, because when Wolves came back into the Premier League, they finished in European places and they were a tough team to face. The same thing with Sheffield United. When they went to the Premier League, they were a tough team to face. Especially when we play at their ground. What else? Look at Leeds United get back into the Premier League after like 16 years. They did well in that season. Of course, they haven't been above the mid-table table last season, but they have been really well. They were tough opponents to face, and that's the same thing with Brentford. You know, but Wolves and Norwich, they're just two completely different teams that aren't just doing well. It's only Brentford I can see who's doing well, and that's why I'm really, really tough for this game. Both for Chelsea and for Thomas Tuchel, because if we lose this game, then I won't be too mad because I'll say that Brentford are the better team. Whoever's the better team that performs well, they can at least I can at least praise them and get in the draw or perhaps beat us. But if we do win, then I'll be happy because the next round of games before we face Manchester United are the easiest games. It has to be 3 points. We can't be dropping any points whatsoever. So that's why starting against Brentford and finishing before Manchester United, we need to get the 3 points so that we can show to people that Chelsea are definitely going to win the title. We cannot be title contenders if we lose against Norwich or perhaps Newcastle. No, we have to beat them. We have to. So starting from tomorrow's game, it has to be 3 points. But like I said, if we look against Brentford, I won't be too mad because they're a tough team to face, especially when we're playing at their new ground. They are really tough teams to face. So yeah. But yeah, But I'm looking forward to it. West London derby, and of course the one maybe one or two players. I don't know who the other one is, but there's one player in particular that we need to be afraid of, and that's Ivan Toney. Whenever he starts against the big six in that ground, he performs really well. Do you see he got the man of the match against Arsenal? The man of the match against um, Liverpool. So Chelsea players have really got to be watch out for that. So yeah, if we can keep Ivan Toney quiet, then I believe we can win this game. But if we don't, then I'll be a bit scared, really be a bit scared. So there's one player who we need to be careful. There was another one, but I don't know which player that is. But the player who I know that we need to be afraid of is Ivan Toney. So yeah, that is basically it. And before I move on to the predicted lineup, I watched Thomas Tuchel's press conference earlier today, and there's three players who are out. The first one is Antonio Rüdiger because he got injured during the Germany international. I think it maybe was that 4-0 win against that team who could not pronounce. So maybe it's that one, or perhaps that 2-1 win against Romania. So yeah, so Rudiger unfortunately is not going to be fit, which is really worrying because this is a big game, and I wanted Rudiger to be fit enough so that he could defend really well. But it's going to be a problem to see if Andreas Christensen is either going to play as the left centre back since Antonio Rudiger is not fit enough to start. So yeah, it's going to be tough for Thomas Tuchel to think about. But yeah, he's out. Hakim Ziyech, of course, is still injured. No, he's injured because he got injured during that game, that Monaco team. I'm not sure which game it was, but yeah, Christian Pulisic isn't still fit. But the great news is that N'Golo Kante is fit enough to be on the bench. In my opinion, if he starts, then that's great. But in my opinion, I would like to see him on the bench because I don't want him to get another injury yet again. Never. So yeah, so N'Golo Kante is fit, but Rudiger, Christian Pulisic, and Hakim Ziyech are out. Are out. Romelu Lukaku, I had fearing that if he's injured, then I think Timo Werner might start. But he did train earlier today, so he is fit enough to play for the game against Brentford. So yes. So far we still got three players injured, and that's basically it. But other than that, I'm happy, I'm excited. Let's hope we can win this game. That is our aim. Since it's going to be a tough game, but let's hope we can be good enough to beat Brentford if we can be able to do that. So yeah, really looking forward to it. So let's move on into my predicted lineup for Chelsea versus Brentford game. So my formation is still going to be a 3-4-2-1, even though that we playing a bit of football, it's still a great formation, and the way we perform, especially against Southampton, which I want to see Thomas Tuchel use just one change lineup, but the rest of it, no changes whatsoever. So in goal, it's got to be Mendy. Didn't make any two mistakes. He's still on number one. Of course, he did concede two goals in the Premier League, or was it two or three? Yeah, sorry, three goals. One against Liverpool, one against Southampton, and one against City. But he's still on number one. He's still on number one. I do trust him. He can make big saves. He's concentrated. He always knows what he's doing. Catches the ball quickly. So yeah, I still trust Mendy. He's still on number one. So yeah, my goalkeeper is going to be Edouard Mendy. Now, like I said before, Antonio Rudiger isn't fit enough to start against Brentford. So I'm not sure what Thomas Tuchel is which player Thomas Tuchel is going to use for the left centre back. So in my opinion, I think I'm going to put Christensen as the left centre back. Thiago Silva and Trevor Chalobah, in my opinion, deserves to start. But since Antonio Rudiger is around, then I'll put in Christensen there. I think this will be the first time that Christensen ever played on the left because he usually plays on the center or as the right centre back. So, but if Andreas Christensen can play like Rüdiger did, then I'll be very, very happy. Very, very happy. So yeah. So since Rüdiger isn't out, my back three is going to be Andreas Christensen, Thiago Silva, and Trevor Chalobah. Now let's move on into the wing backs. Now, of course, um, let's move on into the wing back. So on the left wing back, I'm gonna put in Ben Chilwell. I don't think Marcus Alonso deserves to start after that bad game against Man City and Juventus. He doesn't deserve to start. Ben Chilwell was absolutely phenomenal against Southampton. Really doing playing well on the left hand side, causing a threat. Of course, he did concede a penalty, but at least he redeemed himself by scoring a goal, which definitely crossed the line, even though Alex McCarthy saved it. But Ben Chilwell were absolutely superb. The same goes for Azpilicueta. Of course, that Timo Werner goal, I don't think, he did a foul, Azpilicueta, so I didn't get that one. But Azpilicueta played really well. He's playing really well as the right wing back, even though that sounds not right. He always putting some winning crosses in, not makes the play, just causes some threat, just like Ben Chilwell, as we expect them to do. So yeah, my two wing backs going to be Ben Chilwell and Azpilicueta. I'll leave. I'm not sure if Reece James will start, but if he does, then I can accept that. You know, but as long as Ben Chilwell starts, that is all I'm saying. Now let's move on into the two pivots. Now, like I said, N'Golo Kante is fit, but in my opinion, he needs to be on the bench because if he starts and gets another injury, that is on Thomas Tuchel. So for me, my two pivot is going to be Ruben Loftus-Cheek and Mateo Kovacic. Ruben Loftus-Cheek was phenomenal, especially in the first half. In the second half, he was a bit too slow. But I would prefer him to start rather than coming off the bench because he was phenomenal against Southampton. And the same thing goes for Kovacic. These two were fantastic. If they can keep on doing that, then I know that Chelsea will have a chance to score a goal and to win this game. So I'll leave out Jorginho just for this game. If Ruben Loftus-Cheek doesn't do well, then Tommy Tuchel can take him off and bring Jorginho on so that he can have an impact as well. But for this game tomorrow, I'll put Kovacic and Ruben Loftus-Cheek as my two pivots. Now let's move on into the wingers. Now Pulisic is still injured, and so is Hak, sorry Hakim Ziyech. These two are injured, so yeah. So for that reason, my two wingers are going to be Callum Hudson-Odoi and Timo Werner. I thought Timo Werner got the was my man of the match against Southampton, causing a threat. So lucky not to score two goals. One was offside, but one was a goal. But Timo Werner was fantastic playing on the right hand side, which I didn't expect. When he played on the right hand side, I was thinking, okay, let's see what he can do. But he was fantastic, absolutely fantastic against Southampton. And that's the same with Callum Hudson-Odoi. I think those two positions really work for these two. If Callum Hudson-Odoi and Timo Werner can cause a threat, like coming inside of the box, then I believe that Carlos Dodoy and Timo Werner will get back to the player that we've seen, that we should have seen from last season, if you know what I mean. So yeah, left hand side of the wing, Carlos Dodoy, on the right, Timo Werner. At last and not least, Romelu Lukaku, who was so unlucky not to get two goals in the game against Southampton. One was offside, and then the other one hit the post. And we did doubt that he could be injured and wouldn't start the game. But like I heard from the press conference, he's fit enough to start. That is all I'm saying. And I also heard some people call him a flop. Now listen, the only reason why Lukaku isn't scoring off goals is because he's not getting enough service. We need we need a player like probably like Kevin De Bruyne or perhaps Thomas Müller, all these type of players who can be like them. If so I want either Kovacic or maybe Ruben Loftus-Cheek or perhaps the wingers to feed the ball to Lukaku, give him the service, and then you'll see that he will definitely score. So I think that Lukaku will get there. It's just that he's not getting enough surface, and that's why he's not scoring enough goals. But but I think that between him and Cristiano Ronaldo is between those two that will see who will get the golden boot. Of course, it's too early, but in my opinion, it's between him and Cristiano Ronaldo who will get the golden boot. But Lukaku will get that, I promise you. It's just that we need to give him enough service so that he will score enough goals. That's the only thing that we're missing. And the only thing that he's missing as well when it comes to running inside of the penalty area. So yeah, so that is it, guys. That is my predicted lineup for the Brentford versus Chelsea game. Let me know in the comments down below what's your lineup and whether you agree or disagree with my lineup. Now, without further ado, let's move on into my prediction. Now, of course, if you watched my Premier predictions on match day 8, I went for 2-1 Chelsea, and I'm going to still stick with that because well, I think we will concede, but as long as we perform well, just keep Ivan Tony quiet for most of the game, I believe we can win, but it will be a tight game. It will be a tight game. Like I said, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to the West London derby. It will be a tough game for both teams, but in my opinion, I believe Chelsea can win it, and if we can do, I will be happy, and I'll also congratulate Brentford because if they perform well, then I'll congratulate them. If we draw, I'll be disappointed, but still say that Brentford deserve to get something, if you know what I mean. But my aim for tomorrow is to get Chelsea to win. That is all that matters. So yes, I'm looking forward to tomorrow's game. There will be a live watch along for that one, so make sure you stay tuned. And if you don't want to miss it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, share this video to everybody, and beat the bell notifications as well. So yes, I'm so excited, looking forward to it. Come on, Chelsea, let's win this West London derby against Brentford in the league for the very first time since the past 76 years. Let's go and do that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Look after yourselves, take care, and peace.